Where a World War II hospital once stood, now stands the Ralph M. Riggs Administrative Building. Where a small liberal arts college once stood, now stands a comprehensive Christian university, an institution committed to excellence in educating and equipping students to become Spirit-empowered servants of God, who impact the church and society globally. Welcome to Evangel University. To understand where we are today, we must travel back to visit the places and people who helped make Evangel what it is. The story begins in 1914 with the founding of the General Council of the Assemblies of God. Early leaders saw the need to provide quality training for ministers and missionaries. In 1922, Central Bible Institute was established in response to this need, and the inaugural classes were held in the basement of the old Central Assembly of God Church. This institute would later become known as Central Bible College. The college quickly outgrew the facility and by 1924 had established a permanent location on North Grant Avenue in Springfield, Missouri. Over the years, CBC has trained thousands of students for vocational ministry. Its impact on the church is seen all over the world, where ministers and missionaries and church leaders from CBC have been empowered by the Holy Spirit to share the good news of Jesus Christ. In the 1950s, the Assemblies of God began to see the need for a college that would focus on providing Christ-centered education in the liberal arts. Ralph M. Riggs, who served as General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God at that time, had a vision for a college where students could pursue degrees in the arts and sciences, a place where a student's faith would be nurtured and life calling discovered. In 1955, Evangel College opened its doors just 4 miles across town from its sister school, CBC. Establishing Evangel wasn't easy. Several early attempts to gain approval from the General Council failed, with land being an additional obstacle. But the Lord answered many prayers, and the Assemblies of God received the deed to the land and buildings of O'Reilly General Hospital, a hospital built to treat wounded World War II soldiers, which had shut down in 1952. With ground to build upon, Evangel College opened its doors. For decades, the two colleges operated independently, driven by distinct callings, yet with the same passion and mission, that through training and education the gospel might be known and lived in every vocation and in every corner of the world. 6 years after launching Evangel, the Assemblies of God approved a plan to fill the fellowship's third educational void, a seminary. AG students had to look elsewhere to pursue seminary education. The Assemblies of God Graduate School opened its doors in June 1973 on the 6th floor of the Assemblies of God headquarters, also in Springfield. Thomas Zimmerman was elected president and oversaw the transition from graduate school to seminary in 1984. For 2 decades, the seminary operated in the Assemblies of God headquarters, but a dedicated facility was needed to take the institution to the next level. Land was provided by Evangel University on its northeast corner, and the groundbreaking for the seminary occurred in 1996. Together, these 3 institutions, Central Bible College, Evangel, and AGTS, have 190 years of legacy in Christian higher education, a testament to God's provision and guidance. In 2010, Assemblies of God leaders began to see that the 3 sister schools could be stronger together, and they could expand their impact and operate more efficiently and effectively as one. There was a sense of calling from the Lord to bring together the 3 separate institutions into one comprehensive university with a full offering of degrees. The new university provides an unparalleled opportunity for theological focus and an immersion in the arts and sciences. It would become a comprehensive Pentecostal university offering degrees from baccalaureate to the doctoral levels. Hundreds of staff, faculty, and administrators from each of the institutions worked for several years to prepare the thousands of pages necessary to receive approval from the accrediting body, the Higher Learning Commission, as well as the General Council of the Assemblies of God. Final approval was given in April of 2013, and in August of that year, the Consolidated University was officially opened. This new institution remained on the existing grounds of Evangel University and maintained its name. With the seminary already adjacent to the Evangel campus, the two campuses united, and the embedded seminary is now AGTS at Evangel University. With the formation of the new School of Theology and Church Ministries, students now have even greater access to programs training ministers in every profession. Combining the existing institution's resources and faculty, 3 departments were formed: Bible and Theology, Church Ministries, and Intercultural Studies, equipping students for every facet of 21st century ministry. With the embedded seminary, students now have the opportunity for seamless ministry preparation through graduate levels. Evangel continues to provide a strong liberal arts education that integrates learning, living, and serving within a Christ-centered framework for future leaders in any vocational calling, including business, science, technology, music, communications, humanities, kinesiology, behavioral sciences, and education. The history of the 3 schools stands as a constant reminder that God has always been at work. The truth is, CBC, Evangel, and AGTS have never been about campuses or classrooms, dining halls, or dorm rooms. They have always been about producing living legacies, educating and equipping men and women to be Spirit-empowered servants of God who impact the church and society globally. Before us is a world of new possibilities, new challenges, and an even greater legacy. It's upon the shoulders of men and women who've dedicated their lives to these schools and living out God's calling that we are discovering new horizons and new paths to continue the work begun long ago. God is still at work. We're still following. Together, 3 great legacies. Together, 1 great future. Together, a new Evangel University.